When COVID-19 hit the country, so many companies closed down as others downsized to be able to sustain their operations. Some firms were genuine, but others used COVID-19 as an excuse to lay off the already underpaid workers. Namukana Samwel went deep into the pandemic quagmire to understand these phenomena. We now bring you the COVID-19 scapegoat.
I get even anything out of it or out of being employed because from
Ruth and Mary, not their real names, were employed for over 2 years in a famous 5-star hotel here in Nairobi. But no sooner had the COVID-19 pandemic struck the country than they were laid off in what they term as a malicious move by their employer.
From March, after Corona started, we were sent home on unpaid leave, which we understood because of Corona, yes, but according to law, the CBA which we work for and which governs us, the hotelier, we are not supposed to go on an unpaid leave.
From the documents in our possession, the said company management on 18th of March 2020 sent this letter to its employees. It was a letter meant to send them home for an unpaid leave from 19th of March to end of June 2020. 3 months of agony, confusion and suffering.
Us personally, hatuna internal union. We just chose, okay, sawa, tupatieni barua sitwe. Tuende. Anyway, it was Corona. There's nothing we could do.
So the experience has not been okay, of course. Like, I lost my house actually because I can't even afford it. Then I have a kid. She's gone back to school. She was supposed to report, of course, like the other kids. You have to go talk to the teachers. Like, living with a friend now has become a crazy situation.
On 29th of June, before the unpaid leave was over, the same company sent this second letter extending the unpaid leave from 1st of June up to 30th of September 2020, another 3 months of uncertain future. Later, some of these workers who were permanently employed were now being called in to work for this hotel as casual workers.
So if an employer has sent out his employees on unpaid leave, that becomes unconstitutional at that point. And the employee may sue for constructive dismissal, which essentially is that the employer's conduct has forced the employee to quit his or resign his employment with his employer.
The hotel has been running from around June, July. It was officially opened. Nobody has been called back to work. What they do, they call people to work on casual basis. You're a permanent staff, but working on casual basis.
The workers claim the union that is supposed to fight for their rights was sidelining with the company's management and at the expense of employees' livelihoods.
You cannot come to the studio somewhere. I told you, as an institution, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
I cannot come to the studio to address a matter that I have a channel that is laid down, that I'm following.
Now, here comes the problem. We were thinking that we have a union that is supposed to actually protect us and like guide us through these things when they are happening. The first time it happened on March, of course everybody understood. But now that things are going like crazy every day, we expected them to stand with us more right now.
From a survey by the Central Bank of Kenya, conducted on November 10th and 12th, 2020, 96% of hotels sampled across the country were now operating at 89% in September, compared to the initial 35% as seen in May of the same year. Even after the report was issued by the Central Bank of Kenya, the said hotel still sent this third letter extending the unpaid leave to January 2021 for the affected employees, further complicating their financial status during this pandemic.
The hotel is still running. That is our worry. Like, did they just forget us? Should we say like we no longer are employed? Can they? Okay, what I can say is, why don't they just pay us our dues and like let us go because we've been out here.
There are cases where people have not been paid for more than 1 year. Others have totally just sent staff home. But staff themselves argue that they can see work, the company has a good turnover.
Exclusively, we managed to get these documents showing how much the company was making in terms of profit during the pandemic. From our research, we discovered that some companies made more money in December 2020 during the pandemic compared to what they made in December 2019, but they still went on ahead to lay off workers. In June 2020, the company made a total of 2.9 million in total revenue. In July of the same year, after COVID-19 restrictions were eased, the company made 6.1 million, more than a double figure in a period of 1 month.
Wamefungua, and they are using the permanent staff to work on casual basis. Yet they're getting revenue. They're getting revenue. These people, okay, hata kama ni ile tu waseme, tungekuwa tunapea staff wetu juu wako nje, honestly, tunawapea hata kama ni 10K walipe rent.
I can tell you how many labor malpractices that we've had, and everything points to COVID. So many people, you will find banks dismissing their employees based on COVID, even for small misconducts that are not, even in their HR policy.
In August, the company made a total of 6.7 million. Then in September, the revenue blew up to 14.5 million.
Across many companies, many organizations for that matter, even which may not be companies in the legal sense, have used Corona as an excuse to lay off the workers.
And in October 2020, the revenue of the hotel in question rose to 15 million.
This employer doesn't know how you're surviving out there. This employer doesn't want to care, like, hey, their parents there, outside there, they have kids, they need to go to school. January imekuja.
Towards the end of the pandemic year of 2020, in November, the hotel was in full-blown business operation as it made 18.4 million in total revenue, and in December of the same year, it made a total of 12.7 million despite all the workers still being on unpaid leave.
In real sense, when I came for work, I came and did an interview and talked to the management. What is so hard right now for them to talk to us? We understand. We are parents like them. We are human beings as well. Why are they not talking to us? That's the question.
It now seems that COVID-19 was used as a scapegoat to lay off workers in so many companies in the country. Namukana Samwel, Switch TV, Nairobi.